What's good? You are locked into the We Legit 1-6 Story and Hustle podcast, where real story meets real grind. This platform is for hustlers, creators, entrepreneurs, everyday people turning pain into purpose. If you are chasing a vision or building from the ground up or grinding when nobody's watching, this podcast is for you. Now let's get into it. Today's episode is about success changes how people lie to you. What I mean by success doesn't change people, it reveals them. The lies just get quieter, the smiles get wider, and the support turns conditional. When I started my company, I noticed that a lot of people that I knew became distant. For what reason? I couldn't tell you. It's just I look at it as part of the process. So it was kind of hard to take in the beginning because I had no blueprint or nothing to go off of. So this is something that I wanted to do. So I just kept on pushing and pushing and pushing. And as time went on, I never really cared if I got a lot of views, likes, or anything like that. But I just noticed that there's always somebody out there watching. So by me staying consistent in the background and keeping it going, that's what keeps me going. As time goes on, people will change and they're really going to show who they are as time goes on. The lies of I'm proud of it sounds supportive, but the energy feels off. All the time when people come across my content or actually realize and see what I'm doing, they always say, "Oh man, I'm so proud of you. Man, you doing this and that. No, let me know. I'm gonna buy something. You know what I'm saying? Just send me anything. I'm gonna reshare it, repost it." When I get conversations like that, I take it with a grain of salt because I don't know if the person is being genuine or they being real. So I always go off, like I had said the last previous episodes. I always go off the actions because a person can say anything, but the action is gonna speak volumes, and that's what I go off of. The clap publicity doubts you privately. People gravitate to the norm. Nobody likes being real. That's why I keep saying I'm authentic. And that's why I say I've been doing this since 81 because they don't make them like they used to, as a lot of people would say. And I'm a rare breed. And the more that I grow older and be around people, I start to see that I'm really built different. Thanks to Fred T. Carter out of Nashville. And what I mean by the claps, everybody's going to clap and make it look like they're doing what they're doing. But in the back of their mind, they want you to fail because a lot of people, like I said in my previous episode, is not going to be with you on this journey. So if you fail, they give them something to talk about. See, I told you he wasn't going to do it and blah, 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 blah. And you got to prove people wrong. I've been in existence since August of 2021. May of this year will mark 3 years that I've been selling. And it got me 6 magazine articles, from 3 from Nashville Voyage, two from Canvas Rebel, and 1 from Bold Journey. And it's just more to come. And then another thing, support without action isn't support. Support without action is someone watching what you do, not liking it, not leaving a comment, not resharing it, or not even telling you, "Hey, I see what you're doing." That right there is what you call support without action. It isn't support. It's just talk for them, but while you're in their presence, but possibly it can be gossip, possibly it can be hatred, but give them something to talk about behind closed doors. And then what else we're about to get into is when access changes, energy changes. Some people, different tone. There's a lot of people that I used to talk to on a regular basis. when I changed the access from them people to how they had access to me, the tone got different, and it didn't happen overnight. It happened more so as in when I taking it serious and seeing who I was becoming, and my conversation had changed. So when my conversation changed, I'm talking to these individuals about it. Their tone changed also. So I realized that I knew that I couldn't talk to these individuals anymore on certain subjects. And I was comfortable with that. But when I even try to stoop down, I won't say stoop down, but even when I try to keep the line of communication going, it just wasn't the same. And and this is like kind of like previously what I had mentioned earlier. They missed a version of you that didn't threaten their comfort. Now, as time goes on, you grow. And when you step out of that comfort zone, people start to get intimidated by nature. Like, who did he think he is? Who does she think she is? Blah 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 blah. We've been rocking for however long. How you just gonna do that to the crew, the girls, the bros, all the other stuff? Like, hey man, I want something different in life. I can't sit around here hanging out with you at the park, corner, the store, wherever people dwell and hang at and do. Same with on the female side. It's just I can't do that no more. I want to do something different. So you got to respect what it is that I do. If not, it is what it is. And a lot of people can't take that because they love that version of you. But when you elevate to a whole new version, the hate comes very strong. And that's when boundaries get labeled as, oh, you changed. You think you bit bigger and because you're doing this, you're doing that. You don't be around us no more. You move, you change your number and all the other stuff. As you grow, you got to make changes. It's gonna hurt in the beginning, but in the long run, it's gonna make you reflect on what you really didn't miss. The same old, same old. And a lot of people can't break that habit. Like I said previously, a lot of things is generational. So now it's up for people to look into the mirror and talk to themselves and realize what it is that they need to do and change this curse to make it better for future generations to come. So being labeled as you change is not a bad thing. It's just a lot of people don't know how to take it because it's not looked at in a positive light. It's looked at in a negative light. In my eyes, it's always try to keep a person down because they don't want to see them level up above them. When it's them, it's cool. When I do it, it's a problem. And that's just facts. And then we're going to get into fake support versus silent hate. Man, when I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, I thought it was going to be cool and good, but I wasn't really looking for any type of support because I know how to get out the mud. I know how to be my own motivator. But I always seen fake support versus silent hate my whole life. But it seemed very entrenched when I start making a name for myself. Not the whole city, but just a small group of people. That fake support shows up to watch, not help. Currently, I have a handful of people that watch but don't help multiple times, all the time, to a point to where I had to, whoo boy, I just had to do some things to just let this person know, like, yo, just leave me alone. Because what you're doing is you fanned out, but you're not supporting, which is kind of weird in a sense, but I just take it for a form of support. And then that silent hate helps you slow down. When a person got a vindictive personality that want to see you fail, they're gonna go through extra measures to make sure you fail because they don't like nothing that you do. It doesn't matter if you brush your teeth in the morning. It doesn't matter if you sharing a bottle of water with them. They just envy every little thing about you. You being in a presence bothers them. And if they got a vindictive personality and they don't like you and they create a wolf pack mentality to get you up out of there, whether it's work related, crew related, neighborhood related, they want to see you gone, they're going to push the issue. They're going to press the line. And that is what you call silent hate that's trying to slow you down. But in my situation, I grew even further in the situation to where these particular people watch me more than I watch myself. And once again, that's just facts. Real supporters move with you, not against you. I have a handful of supporters that's moving with me, give me words of encouragement, saying that I'm doing my thing and they like what I'm doing. And I like that better than just not going against me because you never know what a person might turn into when you come across them. But if you showing genuine love, that love is gonna be returned in a real way. It might not happen overnight. It might not happen in 6 months. It might not happen in a year. But eventually, that person's gonna return the favor because they never gonna forget what you did when you was being genuine, being your true self. And then we're going to get into why success make people lie. People are selfish by nature. People's selfishness gets block their blessings in so many ways. And then jealousy is disguised as a concern. People have a lot of talent, but depending on your peer group and your social crew, same thing, different wording. It really dictate how far you're going to go. When you want to step out of the box of the crew, do something different, get into a relationship, want to have a family, start a business, take your life serious with a job, all kind of different things. Your normal crew is going to hit you, like I said earlier in this podcast. You change. That is the make and break. Whether you're going to stick with the crew or you're going to shy away from the crew. Staying with the crew make it generational. Reason being, it's been done generation after generation after generation. But once you make that change, that's what you call breeding a new generational curse. Now, jealousy is going to be in all kind of forms. Jealousy is going to be on how you dress, how you wear your shoes, how you eat your food, how you walk. People get upset about other folks because how they walk and talk. Everybody's not from the same place. A lot of people from different areas. A lot of people grew up as a different culture, same ethnicity, different culture. Everybody move and groove different. So being jealous over small and little things like that really makes you be like, you can't really save everybody. So it's like you got to pick your battles and choose who is comfortable with you. If a person's not on the same wavelength or energy wise, you don't have to keep that person around just to feel special. You got to treat yourself as if you are a employer or a boss. If you're hiring this person, every interaction with an individual is an interview. Oh, should this person be in my life? What is this person is going to bring to my peace? Is it good or bad? And I always tell people you should put a person on a probationary period, however long you want, just to see if they're going to stick around or are they really being genuine because you just never know. So the longer you build a connection, the more the person's going to show their true colors. And then with that, that goes into fear of being left behind. When I decided to leave California, a lot of people didn't rock with it at first. And I looked at it as, well, I'm gonna come down to the South. I'm gonna get experience in the career field that I chose, and I was gonna come back. I stayed down here 6 months in Dallas, Texas. I ended up liking it, and it was cool. So, at first, I talked to people back home all the time. They telling me all these things, and, I did feel left out, but as time went on, and as I was developing the person on who I am today, I became comfortable with everything, so a lot of things don't bother me as much. But for someone that's not strong-minded, you really gotta learn how to be left out, not being part of the pack, not being in the loop. It's just something that you gotta get used to. Every individual gotta go through that on their own. There's no words for that. That's more of an individual tip. And with that, then the next thing you're gonna come across is they lie to protect their ego, not your feelings. People lie because they big themselves up to a certain individual who they think they are in their head, but in reality, that's not them. So as I grew, a lot of people feel like they gotta have a certain conversation with me. The crazy part is I'm regular, normal, same person, authentic, and everything. But how I look to them on social media or wherever they see the things that I post content wise, they'll feel like they have to have a certain type of macho-ness to them, cockiness to them, and all this other stuff. I'm communicating like I normally do, but at the same time, I'm saying in my head, like, why is this person doing all this when we could just have a regular conversation? If it comes up in the conversation, cool, you know what I'm saying? I know how to talk and maintain a conversation, but you had to come at me with the theatricals and try to make it. I'm not about to be doing all that, bruh. It's just be real with me, and I would be real with you. That's all I know how to do. I don't fake any gimmicks or anything like that. Like I be saying on my TikTok lives, man, this right here is authentic. They don't make them like this no more. And I've been around since 81. And then getting close to closing all this out, you're going to be realizing that you outgrowing rooms without announcing it. Since I started We Legit LLC, as time went on and as I grew and took it real serious, people just so happen to look me up and see what I do. I feel the difference. Everything was cool, but now once they see what I do, the vibe changes. Like I said earlier, a particular individual that I know, real cool in the beginning, found out what I was doing, try to down talk it like it was nothing, but in the midst of that conversation, I knew right then and there was some hate there. So communicating passing, but not on a consistent basis, because I didn't rock with the vibe, because I felt it right away. As time went on, things grew, more people knew. He got more and more upset. Why? I couldn't tell you. That's a that person problem, not a me problem. And you can feel that you're doing something genuine and good. As like I said, you're outgrowing rooms without announcing it. I can go somewhere, not say nothing. If someone's in the room and know who I am, they'll speak for me. And that is volumes. That's respect, curiosity, and they like what I'm doing. Someone that got a vindictive mind wouldn't take that as hate. As me and my cousin would clown about like in the movie Belly, when dude was peeling that banana. Everybody know that scene if they seen that movie. And then you gotta realize that not every explanation is old. Now, I know what I do, but I conduct myself in a way to where it's like I don't mind having conversations, just being regular. But I don't have to explain every little thing that I do. Sometimes I don't want to talk about what I do business wise because when it comes to that, I'm all about elevation, like I said in my previous episodes. And I don't want to be talking about something where if I'm not elevating or it's going into growth. If it's not going into growth, I kind of shy away from the conversation. I'll tell you how to do it, but by me telling you, you got to do it yourself because you know how you work and I know how I work. So if a person wants me to coach them on how to do something, then that person gonna have to take the initiative to do other things because there might be certain things that I do that you might not like, which is cool. So, like I said earlier, you have to look in that mirror and really have a talk with yourself and see what you think is good and bad in your current state and what you should do future wise to make it better or have it remain the same. Because everybody watch each other, whether they know it or not. And it's just a part of growth. And as with growth, growth requires separation. I separated myself from my current environment, Long Beach, California. When I did that, I see myself growing. I see myself doing a whole lot of things I never knew I can do. Now, as I said in previous episodes, nothing fazes me. A whole lot of things I know how to do. When I started the company, no support, no nothing. And now it's being looked at worldwide. That's why the whole motto is from the east side of Long Beach to internationally known. And it makes me smile, you dig? Then you got peace comes when you stop needing validation. Now, ever since that first magazine article, I feel like I don't really need to say too much. On my lives on TikTok, I entertain, I talk, but in the meantime, I do speak real facts and I let them know, like, if you want to know more about me, just Google We Legit LLC or my name, Marquis Carter, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll learn a little bit about me, but it'll give you a picture. So that gives me validation without doing a whole lot of explanation. And I'm in a peaceful mind state, and a lot of stuff is not gonna get to me. And if a person communicate with me, I don't mind communicate when I'm back because everybody needs somebody to vent to and listen to. And by me being so raw, real, and authentic, I know what to say and what not to say. And these are a lot of stuff that I had on my mind in the past couple of months. And a lot of advice I should give people that's in, I wouldn't call it midlife crisis, but they just need somebody to talk to and let them know. It's just somebody to vent to. Therapy is good. Therapy is really good. I went to one therapy session last year, and I tell you, after I let everything out, I felt like a whole new person. I felt like a whole lot of weight was off my shoulders. So there's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist because you don't have to worry about it going out to anybody. It's between you and that person. And these are some quotes that I want to bring into the episode for people to think and ponder on and, get the mind working. Here's one of them. The louder the congratulations, the quieter the loyalty. If your success makes them uncomfortable, they were never for you. Some people support you better when you are struggling. Growth will cost you people who benefited from you staying the same. Little quotes to get your mind going, make you reflect and see how you should change the situation or you cool with your current situation. There's nothing wrong with doing what it is that you're doing as long as it makes you happy. And that's the first thing, as long as it makes you happy. If you want to change on your own. When you change it for other people, it's not gonna go the way you thought because you're not doing it for you. You're doing it for someone else. And before I close out the episode, I got a message. Success doesn't owe anyone comfort. If your light exposes their darkness, that's not your problem. Keep building. Let the energy sort itself out. And before I close the episode, as per usual, remember this: your story matters, your grind matters, and where you're heading is bigger than where you started. No shortcuts, no excuses, just hustle and purpose. If you felt this episode, tap in, subscribe, share it with someone on their grind, and keep the moment alive. This is We Legit 1-6 Story and Hustle podcast. Until next time, stay focused, stay hungry, and always stay legit. And also, make sure you tap into We Legit Clothing. It's more than fashion, it's the hustle you wear. And follow the movement on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at We Legit LBC 16. And the shop, the brand at www.welegitclothing.com. Or you can go to the shop app and type in We Legit Clothing. You can also find me on We Legit Clothing also. Until next time, y'all enjoy y'all night. And the message to the youth: stick to what you know. And if you don't like what you know, learn something different that can better your future. Because you have to live this life, nobody else. Until next time.